Thanks for joining us today at KIALOA Paddles. Today we wanted to discuss how to replace a broken adjustment mechanism. So you take your paddle and you're going to want to remove it from the sleeve of the paddle. And you're going to take the adjustment mechanism and begin to take it apart in order to replace the part that's broken. Typically you're going to want to start at the end here where you have a little hairpin. You're just going to want to pull back. It's going to come out of the little hole in the bottom of the threaded area there. You're then going to remove the nut from the bottom, and you're just going to want to unscrew it as such. And you're just going to want to set your parts to the side. Some of these parts can be reused again if you have another paddle that breaks. You're going to take off the washer, and then you're going to remove the rubber dowel. Once those parts are off, you can take out the cable as such. And typically this is the part that might snap. If your paddle is washed continuously and the salt water is removed and any sand is removed, we typically don't have any problems with these. Sometimes in high-use environments, Hawaii and Florida, where it's used 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, these will wear out and they can be replaced. The nice thing about that is you don't have to throw the paddle away. You can replace the cable and you're good to go again. So you're going to set aside the part that's broken, and you're going to take your cable replacement kit that you've bought from KIALOA or you have on hand, and you're going to take the parts out. For the sake of time, we'll use all these new parts, even though you have some parts that might still be available to you from your old paddle or the old mechanism. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your lever and the little metal dowel that comes with the kit. You're going to want to take the end of your cable that has the part that has a little hole in it. That's going to line up with the end of your lever. You're going to want to start the dowel into the side of the black lever, and you're going to want to line that hole up with the hole on the side of the lever, and you're going to want to push it together. You'll get it started and you'll feel it connect. So now it's connected in there. You're going to need to take something hard, like the end of a pair of pliers, and you're going to push it all the way through so that that dowel is then flush on both ends. Now you're ready to insert the end of your cable down into the top of the handle. And you should see it drop out the bottom down here as such. You're then going to want to hold on to it, make sure the top part is locked in place. You're going to want to hold on to it with your hand. The first thing you're going to want to put back on is your rubber gasket. On the bottom of the rubber gasket are little grooves that are going to line up with grooves on the bottom of the sleeve. You're going to slide that over, holding on to the threads, making sure you don't lose it back through the hole. You're going to line up those little grooves with the bottom of the rubber gasket and get it in place, so there should be no space between the rubber gasket and the fiberglass sleeve. You're then going to want to put on your washer. It's going to slide right over. And then you're going to want to find the nut that you had taken off or one out of your new kit. You're going to just slide that on there, screw it on until it exposes the little hole that the hairpin is going to go into. You're going to grab the hairpin and you're going to put it into the hole and it will pop into place. Make sure it's laying flat as such. Now you have to tighten it up so that the adjustment mechanism will lock back in place into your paddle. You can see it's kind of loose. So what I like to do, you just don't want to take the nut and begin to turn it, because the inner cable will begin to spin and get really tight. So what you're going to want to do is take a pair of needle nose pliers, and you're going to want to gently hold on to the hairpin and use a wrench to then tighten the nut as such, making sure you're not touching the needle nose pliers to the threaded area. Otherwise you could mess with the threads and create some problems with getting the nut off ever again. You're going to want to feel for tension. When you begin to feel the cable begins to get nice and tight, you know you're ready to go. You can test it to see if it's firm. You're going to want to leave it unlocked like that. You're going to want to grab the end of the sleeve or the end of your paddle again, insert it into the shaft, and you're good to go. Replacing your ABS adjustable paddle from KIALOA. Thanks for joining us today. Aloha.